exterior expansion. We're at the rear left elevation. Garage is the other side of the fence. Can't open up this door, this gate, because it's locked with a padlock. A little bit of movement here. You can see that gap opening up. This is where the brick's just moving away from the mortar. Just needs repointing actually. Also you can see there's been some movement because it's been caulked up here. Good idea. But as the building moves, things like trim boards do split, as we can see here, and we can see a bit of a split in the soffit. So I know immediately there's a little bit of foundation movement, which is to be expected. Moving around the little patio, we have a soffit that's coming loose here. It's going to allow animals to get in through the top there, so that is. We're looking at the walls, we're looking at all the structure, we're trying to identify whether or not we've got a lot of movement or it's just a bit of casual movement. Yeah, you can see here soffit is parted. That's all part of the general movement. Can we see any cracks in the brickwork there? There's a differential crack coming down here. It's early. There's none on the other side though, which is good. We're going to look at other parts of the property now. Moving to the rear elevation. Now we have a hose grip here that doesn't have an anti-siphon device on. Yeah, we have a settlement crack starting here, very slight indeed. And we have another one here, so there's settlement either side of this particular part of the structure. Now we're at the rear right elevation. Yeah, and we have a settlement crack here running down to the foundation, so general indications of settlement at the rear elevation. We're at the right elevation. Here the grade actually comes up too high. You can see where the grass and the grade is actually touching the building. It needs to be lowered. If you get moisture on the bricks, it actually passes through into the cavity wall space. Yeah, we've had movement in the past here. You can see it's been repointed, and you can see there's some cracks still remaining, but it's cosmetic more than anything else at this stage, looking at it. We're at the front right elevation. I'm pleased to say that it's got good caulking around all the windows so far. It's been recently caulked. It's good to see. Now we have a movement in the brick up there. You can see the brick's opened up and the mortar's exposed. That should be ream-pointed. We have a light cover without, we have a exposed outlet without a bubble cover. Here we have some lights that have wires behind them, and this part here between the wall and the fixture should be caulked. Now at the front elevation, at the door, recent caulking up here. That's not normal to caulk. That indicates the gap had opened up, and wisely they caulked it to stop vermin getting in. Again, another hose bib without anti-siphon device. There's been some pointing here, pass movement. It's the right thing to do, incidentally. It's not covering things up. It's what you should do. Okay, so now we're moving to the left elevation. Again, soffits down the left and right and the rear. There's been repointing around this area, so obviously movement's been present. I would ask them whether or not they've actually had a piers put in. There's another telltale sign of building movement. We have a broken window here. Yeah, it's broken. It's the bathroom window. The pane is cracked. What actually happens is, as the building moves, the window gets forces pressure put on it, and the window of course can't take that, so it breaks. Another hose bib without a anti-siphon device. We'll let the service drop. It's a dry vent with the wrong type of vent. It's got louvers. It shouldn't have louvers, it traps the lint. You open it up, you can see we've got lint trapped in there. Okay, you can see here where there's movement. It's a crack, it's opened up recently. You can tell that because it's quite sharp. It's running down the wall. So we'll go inside and see if there's any telltale signs of cracks in the walls and ceilings. I don't think there will be. It's been redecorated. It's been covered up. There seems to be no cracks in the floor tiling here. No distortion of the cabinetry and the fittings around the bathroom, and the shower door is good. No signs of movements there, though we've got panelling, it hides movement. Into the main dining area. Again, we're looking for movement. Solar blinds. plaster. Have a look and see if there's any movement in the walls and ceilings. So, here we are, and we turn around and say there's been some movement in the past of the foundation. There's signs of movement at the present time, very small, cosmetic, no real signs of movement inside the house, no rotation of the brickwork outside, so, okay. This is the roof inspection. We have ridge vents, indicates it's a comparatively modern roof. Says so in the details I've read that it's pretty new. There's no real way of telling from the look of it. We have a cap on the chimney, it's good, and we have a wire guard here. General condition of the cap is good. Flashings are okay, been recently recaulked and painted. We have some damage to the shingles here. It looks like an install damage, ladder or tool damage. We're at the rear elevation. Okay, no issues with the roof on the day of the inspection. This is the inspection for the attic. We're going to start with the garage, attic over the garage. Just an important point, see here we have an attic hatch, and that of course leads up into the attic, which leads over to the rest of the house. And the problem with it is it doesn't have a weather seal. And even when if it did, it wouldn't work very well because it doesn't close properly. You see it's open here. Actually it's a plug holding it open. So general condition of the attic hatch is not fireproof. We have a door which is hopefully a fire door. No, I don't think it is a fire door. No, it's not a fire door, it's an ordinary door. This door's got to be replaced with a fire door. It's got to be a 1 hour or 20 minute, minimum 20 minute fire door. It also has to have self-closing mechanism. I recommend self-closing hinges. That will solve the problem. This is the attic ladder. You can see it's in very poor condition. It's actually dangerous. I'm going to go up it with care, but I would recommend that you don't use it, because I'm quite used to climbing attic ladders like this, but to be quite frank, I'm actually prepared to jump off if something starts to go. You may not be quite so prepared. So this is a very dangerous ladder. It needs to be replaced. I recommend you replace it as you move in. The water heater, it doesn't have a safety pan. It's missing a drip leg sediment trap on the gas supply line. Temperature pressure relief valve works. Valve's in good condition. Overall, it looks in good condition, but the vent hood here is incorrectly installed because it hasn't got any screws holding the vent down. You can see the vent here. Better see it this side. You can see the vent hood leg is not actually engaged. So that whole thing could come apart, and we've got tape on this one here holding it on. It's not really satisfactory tape. It should be metal screws holding the two together. We have rollout, and the reason you've got rollout is it's getting insufficient air, and as it actually starts to ignite, it sucks air in, and then it pulls it from the actual flue, and then it exhausts here. Okay, so it literally reverses its action, and that causes this brown burning mark. And this is a flame baffle, and let's see if I can get it out. I have it. And now we can see inside. Okay, conditions okay inside. No signs of rust yet, but I would say that this needs to be seen and looked at by a plumber. You do not want this rollout that you're getting here. Flames firing up, and we've got a blue flame. But you see, I've got the door open, so there's a lot more air coming in. We have insufficient combustion air. See up here we've got a vent, but you'll see it's blocked. It's not sealed properly here, so it's going to draw air in where it shouldn't do, and this area where it should be pulling air is not going to draw. So that's why we've got this rollout. This is the attic inspection. We're over the main house. There's some exposed terminations here. No telling what they are. Exposed wires down there. I don't know whether they're connected or not. There's a lot of leaking coming from this air handler. That hole there is blowing out. There's cold air coming out of the ducting here and here. General condition of the ducting around different areas is poor. Yeah, there's cold air coming out there too. Here we've got a primary drain line. That's capped there. But we've also got Romex cables running exposed across the surface boards. We're missing sediment traps on the gas lines, and we're missing bonding to the flue. This is the grade inspection. We've got cracks running in the driveway, very common. Really, this driveway was poured into too large a slab, and it's actually broken itself up in a expansion gap fashion. There's no real heaving around it. Other than that, it's in good condition. The grading on the right hand side is average around this type of property. It should be sloping away from the building. It's not. It's flat. Grading at the front elevation is pretty good. Got a nice slope. Bushes are kept away from the building, which is excellent. We have large trees, they expire a lot of water, so you want to keep them away from the property. Might be an idea if it hasn't had a root barrier put in, considering putting a root barrier in this area here. And that will stop the trees' roots getting under the house forever. This is the right elevation again. You know, it's a bit better actually. It slopes a bit better. Yeah, it slopes a bit better. So the right hand elevation, the grading is much better than it is on the left hand elevation. We have gas logs. We don't have a damper log, which we should have with gas logs. The chimney's clean, there's no build up of creosote up there, which is good. Must have been swept. General condition of the fire on the hearth is good. And the addition of a damper block there, and that's all you need. That's all it is to go. This is a Federal Pacific box. Now these boxes have been known to catch fire, having what they call stab lock breakers in them. That doesn't mean to say that all of them will catch fire, it's just significant numbers have, and as a result the trades, the electrical trade in particular, is very wary of them. And it's very rare for an electrician to recommend anything other than replacement of these boards. Now they cost $1,200 each, about, to replace it, so it's not a small amount of money. The thing about it is, there's nothing wrong with this box in terms of what it's doing at the moment. It's working, it's just because it's a Federal Pacific and it's outdated. My recommendation always is to replace these, because not to puts me at risk should this burst into flames. I can't do anything else. I can't tell you it won't burst into flames, I can't tell you it will burst into flames. But because of the type of box it is, Federal Pacifics always get recommended for change. Now we have a ground here. Let's go and see if we've got a ground at the meter. Here's the meter. There's no evidence of a grounding bar. air conditioning unit. It needs to be levelled, just sunk a little bit. Look at the insulation missing from the cold pipe here, and it's not running too well actually, because with that insulation missing I'd expect to see sweating on that pipe, and it's not, and the insulation's deteriorated. It's working away here. It is cooling, but I would say it probably needs some work on it, some maintenance to improve its functionality. The water shut-off valve is here with the water meter. It's actually at the front of the drive. There's no water present. This hose bib, it's on the wall. There's the front path, and it's on the left-hand elevation. No water present. There's no backflow preventer on the dishwasher. I've got it on top, but I'm not getting it on top at the moment. Convention requires that a faucet, when you turn a faucet to the left, in that direction, it should provide hot water. Turn it to the right, provide cold water. This unit is reversed. So the toilet is broken. So it's not operational. Get hot water. No extractor in the bathroom. Yep. No extractor in this bathroom. None in this one. Okay, the burner, that's the burner on the right front, is not working. Zone run is the front right yard. Zone 1 is the front right hand yard. Zone 2, front yard left hand elevation. Zone 3 is the front bed, flower beds between the bushes and the foundation. Zone 4 is the front elevation. And the side yard. Zone 5 is the left hand elevation down the foundation and the side yard. Zone 6 is the rear right yard, flower beds. Zone 7 is the rear yard around the pool. It's the pool equipment. This is the drain. You connect that hose there and run this to the backyard. Now, some jurisdictions do not allow you to do that because you'll be putting it into the city drain. So you better find out whether that's allowable or not. The pump running here. This pump's gone off. And we have a previous repair here. Okay, pressure is about 10. Polaris cleaner has been working all day, and so as all the pumps, the skimmers are working. The condition of the flat work around the pool itself is excellent. Okay, the drain is down there.